You are not asleep. You're brushing your teeth. Your reflection blinks separately from you. You are not dreaming. The bathroom door vanishes. Your house is gone. You're standing in a desert you've never seen. Your dentist's face floats in the sky. He's angry. He wants his bill. This is the first night. The first rip. The blueprint of a sleeping human mind has just fused with the physical constants of your world. There is no longer a difference. The subconscious has become tangible. The collective REM cycle of 8 billion people now dictates the reality outside your window. Here's the thing. A human brain is not a projector. It's a factory. It builds realities with flawed geometry, with physics that shift on a whim. And it's about to start production. The initial spill is silent. It's not an invasion. It's a replacement. A patch of your lawn becomes a chessboard. The squares are moving. The grass is now marble. Your neighbor's car melts into a giant sleeping cat. It purrs. The vibration shatters every window on the street. That's not a sound effect. That's domestic life now. The eggs in your kitchen don't just cook. They hatch into tiny screaming birds made of yolk and shell. They fly into the ceiling fan. It's a mess. Let's talk about the blueprint. Your prefrontal cortex, the logic center, is offline during REM. There is no continuity. There is no object permanence. A door can lead to a childhood bedroom and then directly into the vacuum of space. In a dream, you accept this. Your waking body, however, is built for a single, consistent reality. Its wiring cannot handle two. The first casualty is your inner ear. It's your biological gyroscope. It tells you which way is up, but the ground beneath your feet is now a liquid memory of your third-grade classroom floor. It smells like wax and panic. Your vestibular system gets two conflicting data streams. The signal shreds itself. You vomit violently. Your balance is gone. You are seasick on solid land. Then, the optic nerve. Your eyes are still looking at your street, but your visual cortex is receiving the raw, uncompiled data of 1,000 different dreams bleeding into your local light spectrum. You see your father's face superimposed on a stop sign. You see the fractal patterns of a fever dream crawling up the brickwork like luminous mold. Your brain cannot reconcile the inputs. The neural pathways overload. You get a migraine so profound you feel your skull thinning. You are literally seeing things. Now, scale that up. The first nightmare spill is not a monster in a closet. It's a systemic failure. A child dreaming of being chased manifests the sensation of pursuit, a crushing, formless dread, as a 30-meter sphere of pure atmospheric pressure. It rolls through a suburb like an invisible tsunami. Houses don't explode. They implode. The air inside is instantly evacuated. Lungs collapse not from impact but from the sudden perfect vacuum where a living room used to be. Rib cages buckle inward like stepped-on soda cans. This is where the economy of imagination kicks in. And it's a disaster. Think of a dream object. A golden apple. A sword made of light. A key that opens any lock. These are now physical commodities. They have mass. They have properties. A man in Oslo dreams of endless wealth and wakes up buried under a solid avalanche of non-tarnishing dream logic gold. It's beautiful. It's also 5 metric tons. It fused his apartment building's foundation to the bedrock. The structural engineers are having a very bad day. The problem is material science. Dream matter doesn't obey our periodic table. Its atomic bonds are held together by narrative consistency, not nuclear forces. A castle manifested from a fantasy is only as solid as the dreamer's belief. When they wake up doubting its existence, the limestone walls begin to sublimate. They turn to a chalky mist by noon, but the foundation remains. It's a phantom load on the city's infrastructure. Bridges hold the weight of ghosts. Skyscrapers lean under the memory of a dragon's perch. And then you get the lucid cartels. About 55% of people will, at some point, realize they're dreaming. In the old world, that meant you could fly. In the new world, it means you can draft. You can design. If you can control your dream, you can manifest a specific complex object. A perfect diamond. A vial of universal antidote. A battery that never dies. Overnight, the most valuable skill on earth is not coding or engineering. It's honoric focus, the ability to stabilize a dream construct. The black market isn't in some back alley. It's in the shared overlapping hypnagogic space of a curated sleep lab. People are intentionally sedated, fed specific stimuli, and guided into communal dreams to manufacture goods. They're dreaming on purpose. They're psychic factory workers. The lucid dreamers become architects. They become gods with terrible sleep schedules. They build things. A collective dreaming of peace might manifest a silent, beautiful park over a war zone. But the soldier in the trench next door is dreaming of teeth and mud and fear. His reality bleeds in. The park's benches grow molars. The roses scream when you pick them. The friction between dreams is where the true physics break down. You get localized reality failures. A zone where one person's dream of floating conflicts with another's dream of drowning. The space between them doesn't know what to do. It spasms. The air flashes between breathable oxygen and viscous salt water 10 times a second. Anything caught in that zone is pureed. It's not drowned or suffocated. It's emulsified by contradictory physics. Domestic life becomes a nightly siege. You don't just go to bed. You fortify. Sleep isn't rest. It's a shift change. One consciousness goes offline, and its unvetted, unedited production line boots up in your backyard. People board up windows not against thieves, but against the spectral stag their daughter keeps dreaming about. It's beautiful. It also phases through walls and leaves trails of frozen air that crack plumbing. Your body never adapts. How could it? The stress response is constant. Your adrenal glands are exhausted by week 2. You're soaked in cortisol. Your immune system, confused by the constantly shifting microbial landscape of dream bacteria, some of which are just memories of being sick, gives up. You succumb to a metaphor for the flu dreamed by a poet in Buenos Aires. You don't have a fever. You feel profoundly, achingly blue. Your skin turns the color of a rainy afternoon. The global infrastructure just stops. Not with a bang. With a weird whimper. A pilot dreaming of falling takes a 747 with them. A nuclear plant operator dreaming of infinite power creates a feedback loop in the control rods that physics can't describe. The resultant energy isn't a meltdown. It's a brief, silent flash that turns the entire facility into a perfect, still-life sculpture of glass and regret. No radiation. Just permanent stillness. The architects of dawn are the most dangerous. These are the people who dream of the world before. Of fixed laws. Of consistency. Their subconscious yearns for the anchor of a single, stable reality. And in this new paradigm, that yearning becomes a physical force. A corrective pressure. As they sleep, their dream doesn't add something new. It subtracts. It tries to reimpose the old rules. In the zone around their sleeping form, dream matter destabilizes. Fantastical objects dissolve. But they don't just vanish. They convert. The energy of their unreality has to go somewhere. It bleeds off as raw, unstructured information, a screaming torrent of lost memories, broken geometries and forgotten fears. This psychic backwash floods into the minds of anyone nearby, overriding their own dreams, creating a cascading feedback loop of recursive reality collapse. The final stage isn't a monster apocalypse. It's thermodynamic. The planet is now processing the psychic energy of 8 billion untethered brains every 24 hours. The heat budget is nonsense. Latent emotions become latent heat. A collective nightmare of burning adds terawatts of thermal energy to the atmosphere with no sun to account for it. The oceans begin to boil in patches. Not everywhere. Just above the submerged cities of people dreaming of hell. The collective unconscious has a mass. It has a weight. All that manifested thought, all that fear and love and madness, is now part of the planetary inventory. The Earth's rotation, perfectly balanced for rock and water and air, is now lugging an extra load of ghosts and ideas. The spin slows. Not much. A millisecond per day. But it adds up. The days get longer. The nights, where the dreaming happens, stretch on. A feedback loop from a literal nightmare. In the end, the atmosphere becomes unbreathable. Not from smoke or toxins. From metaphor. The shared dream of suffocation becomes so common it leaches into the air itself. The nitrogen and oxygen molecules don't change. They just forget how to desa.